So we have somebody that's going to join us tonight. We're going to talk about some stuff, and we're going to play some things because, as always, we're never short of content because the stuff continues every single day. Every single day it goes on this app. So I'm going to wait because I want to play some of these things. Crazy Chris is in the house. Welcome in. Oh, good. You're here. Okay, great. So I want to bring in somebody and we're going to talk about some things because I think he is, of course, has some things to say that I think it's important for you guys to hear. So where are you? Hold on. Let me find you here.
Hi.
What is that?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, I can't turn my camera on because I'm driving for like the next 45 minutes. It's bad timing.
Oh, no worries. No worries at all.
What's up, Linda? Yeah, so do you want to play that recording first or do you want me to, what do you want to do?
Well, there's a couple of different things. You know, I know that you were on today. And let me pull up. There's a couple of different things that I want to talk about. So I'm going to play one, okay?
Okay.
I would never talk about any of it. Not a single word. Would never say the name. If it wasn't every single night about me, and then I get the messages from all of TikTok, and I really don't. I catch a few DMs, and mostly from people that I know and trust, or I get a text from people. So, and I told them I tell almost everybody, I'm like, yep, don't share that with me. The one that was shared last night was shared to me by a good friend on here, and she probably thought that I wanted to see, and I'm like, I don't try to look at any of it because I got to block it out of my mind. It does me no good to talk about it, to even know about that, except for the fact that they thought I was going to actually change it to a guy's name. It was never. It was going to be her name and then EX. Blank, blank, X. Because I am the X. So, anyway.
So that's just one of the ones that I wanted to play because I think it's important to hear where he talked about he didn't even want to talk about this. And still, you've seen it, and everybody else in here has seen it. He talks about us going on every single night and how all of TikTok is telling him about it. Thank you, Gretchen. It's almost been 5 months that he hasn't shut up.
Yep.
That he can't stop talking about it. It's just insane.
Yep.
Like, stop talking and I'll stop talking. We know that's not the truth, right?
No, that's why I'm here right now. He won't stop talking.
Exactly. So I think that sets the tone for tonight. But then today, let's see, which one do I want to play? Here we go.
Everything's a lie, too. Like 99% of what he says is a lie, or it's extremely exaggerated.
Well, and I've said it a couple of times. I think that the more that he projects, the more that he believes that it's the truth.
That's why, like, me and Jen talked, and we don't know what to do. Well, I don't because going live and talking about it brings awareness and stuff like that. But it's not, I don't think he's ever going to stop no matter what you do.
No, and it's not just them. I mean, there's plenty of people out there, and that's the whole point of this is to say, okay, this is our experience. This is my experience. These are people that were there for it, that have been a part of this. Yeah. And there's other people out there. And so to bring awareness, to let people know, okay, like, yes, this is textbook. And
oh, he's a textbook narcissist.
It is so textbook.
But but last time I went live with you, I wasn't necessarily trying to be nice. I was trying to be a little bit respectful because he was my friend for a while. And I'm not a disloyal friend, you know that. And I was trying to be a little bit respectful and like just say what I needed to say. And all he's done is lie since then and bash me and other people I care about, friends of mine too. Like, that's all he does every day. And he continues to tell these lies and it's just worse. It gets worse and worse. And the amount of stuff I could have said last time, like, we can talk about whatever you want tonight. I'm down, I don't care.
Well, and it goes from one thing to then the next extreme. You know, it goes from this. Thank you, Stephanie. It goes from lies to stealing, from lies to beating to, you know, it completely changes each time he comes on here.
And there's so many lies. There's so many lies you could address and stories we could tell. Like I said, like we'll just take it slow or whatever. But the stuff that I've seen is it's. I've never met a more insane person in my life, and I mean that. And I didn't want to say that last time. I was trying to be at least half ass nice.
Yeah, I mean, you're a friend. You care about him, and
but the stuff he's put, you don't do to your friends what he's done to me and to other people. You don't do that to your friends. So I don't really owe him shit anyway.
no, and you certainly don't do that to your fiance, the woman that you can't live without.
Absolutely not. No. And the stuff he said about you behind your back, like I've been telling you, it's nuts. Like we'll get to that though.
Yeah. Let me play this because I want to talk about this that was said today.
When you have everybody else paying for your shit, that's what it is.
So right there, he's talking about you, just for a little bit of context for everybody in here, is he's on with somebody else and steals in the other person's live, and he's talking about money. And he says, when everybody's paying for your shit. So I pause right there and we'll keep going.
Matthew, Ellie, one more.
But hey, I've been used by a lot of people stealing, not just you, so don't worry about it.
Just
Don't be a liar, because now you're a liar too, and that's what sucks. I don't mind the fact that I had to pay for all your shit. I hate the fact that you would lie. And you lied about my kid and why he left Wyndham. It's fucking trash.
Okay, so that happened.
When you have
That happened today. And what he was talking about, he had referenced him gifting you quite a bit on your birthday on the app.
So he's been talking about this for a while, and the funny part is don't like it didn't just start because of all this. Like he's been trashing me on live for 8 months periodically, and then he'll apologize because he doesn't know when to shut up. So what he does is he'll put himself in a position, and Jen, you know this because you were with him on my birthday when he gifted me. Like y'all were still together. You were at his house. So he'll offer to do all these things or whatever. It's your birthday. Oh my God, you're such a good friend to me. I'm gonna come gift you and do it. And then he came in there and started dropping unis on me. I didn't like. And then all of a sudden, several months later, I owe him money for that now. And then that's what he does. He'll do stuff for you and then throw it in your face. And I was warned by multiple people that he does that. And but so there was like one time I've known the dude for a year. I've been friends with him for a year, and I borrowed $60 from him one time. And you were sitting right next to him when that happened. It was I needed gas and I was in it like stranded. Well, since then he has Venmo'd me money for flights, and you know this too. But these flights are flights that he begged me to. He didn't just ask once or twice. Haley's in the chat. She listened to some of the phone calls. I had her on three-way just to cover my ass, just so that I would have a witness. He would beg me to come there, and I would say no. I'm not wasting my money on a flight to come there. And he would be like, please, I need you here. I need a friend, or for whatever reason, and beg for 3 or 4 days until I would come. And then it wouldn't take him but 8 hours before he started throwing it in your face and talking shit, saying, oh, you're right, you owe me. I did this and I did that. He says everybody uses him. Dan is the person that uses people. And for other things besides finances. Like he uses people for whatever he needs them for, whether it's an emotional support person or somebody to listen to him or somebody to hang out with them or his woman, his girlfriend, his fiance, whatever it is, he uses everybody in his life.
So let's talk about, so he was talking about gifting you, I think you were in the ranks or something on your birthday, and he gifted you a lot that day.
Yeah, he did. And I'm sorry, keep going.
No, go.
I was just gonna say he did, but I've never had a friend in my life ever do something for you on your birthday and then for the next year trash you and dog you for it. And then not only that, but trash you and dog you for all kinds of other stuff and bring up your personal life and people that you have, like, it doesn't make sense. That's not what friends do. It's crazy. That's crazy.
It's not what friends do. So he gifted you, and then he said he was paying for your life, or he says when people pay for your life. So I want to pause right there because I think people in this room understand, and I certainly understand and still does too. People on this app are paying for Dan's life, right? And so when he now comes back and says, you gifted me on my birthday, and he makes it like you owe him, what about all of the people that have spent or gifted him a lot? So you take like the Judy Jennings and folks like that. Does he now owe them? It's a complete hypocritical statement for him to say that and to use that today on this app. And exactly. And so now he's kind of backpedaling. It was backpedaling all day of, you know, when I posted the video about him wanting to use Jen's ex, her former person's name, that was just insane and unacceptable. But he backpedaled and said, no, that's not what I wanted to do. But then he started talking about you and gifting, and it is a complete hypocrite to say that and to have that expectation of you, and not for everybody else to put that expectation on him.
Yep. Is that the whole recording?
There's another one here I want to play. Hold on.
When you have everybody else paying for your shit, that's what it is.
Oh wait, that might have been the same one. Hold on. Here's this one.
You only said it because you said you were going to use it to take care of your CDL. Because you're going to go back to work in the oil fields. And then I kept asking you, getting back in the oil fields, and you couldn't. Garbage. I have no time for fucking liars. So, garbage. See you, buddy.
I know. A complete hypocrite right there. Like, I can't even. I'm like, you do this all
What he's saying.
day.
Okay, so what he's saying. Am I freezing up?
No, you're good right now. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I thought I did freeze for a second. I was saying, the lie he's talking about, the reason why he's so mad right now is because of what happened in your live last time. Whenever I was in here and you asked me if he had ever had an argument with you where you hit him, and I told the truth and said absolutely not. That's what he's screaming about, calling me a liar.
Yeah, where is said video?
The only video I have with him in it is a video of him smashing a plate in his kitchen after he went on a manic freaking psychotic episode, and then a video of him threatening to murder me multiple times in his truck.
And that's when you guys went to
no video of him.
Or driving to Wyndham, or no, that's when
no, that's
you were here after I left, right?
Right, that's the last time I seen him, when he was spiraling out of control. I was trying to help him get his. If it wasn't for me being there, the amount of things he would have done. He wanted to go to your freaking mom's house. He wanted to text you insane things, and he drove by your work multiple times. Dude, do you want me to show the pictures of the Pepsi?
Oh my God,
The shit he did.
He drove by my work, and I was out of state, right?
Yeah, and then he thought every car driving down the road was you, and he would freak out and be like, "Oh my God, there she is! Still, there she is!" And I'd be like, "Bro, you have to stop."
I was in it.
Yeah, you was at a work trip.
Mm-hmm.
He put about probably 200 Diet Pepsi bottles all over the house for like 4 days, and like organized them everywhere, thinking that you were going to come home and you were going to want to drink them. Like,
I will tell you this. I will admit to this, that when I got all my stuff out of the house, I did take all of that Diet Pepsi, and me and my family enjoyed every ounce of it.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm pulling up the one. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
So that's just one. It was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In the shower. In the shower, he had it in the garage on the ground. He got a piece of chalk and drew hearts around it.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make fun of him for that. I'm just pointing out like his freaking the mental health decline. Like I don't know.
Oh, were you there with the Taco Bell stuff, or was that before you got there?
Oh yeah, no. I think that was after I left, maybe. But he sent me pictures of it. He used Taco Bell bags or whatever to like line the walls as wallpaper because you like Taco Bell, and he thought you were coming home every day, and like he would be fine, and then he would spiral, and then he thought that I was working for the FBI, and the FBI sent me there, and then he thought that me and another person and you was setting up like a double date type scenario where like we were gonna, and this was after you like had a restraining order, and he thought that you were gonna show up in the middle of the night, and like so we were all gonna surprise him. And the way he would spiral and stuff out of control was, I mean, it got like I thought I was gonna have to beat him up a couple times, honestly. Especially after like the things that he said, like on the phone with somebody that I adore and care about a lot, and then even my own cousin in here right now, like calling her the B word and the C word, and like the stuff he was saying about you. And then there's nothing you can do about it. You can't control. I mean, unless you physically like hurt him, he doesn't stop spiraling. I could talk about so many stories all day long about this shit. Applebee's, you were there at Applebee's.
Well, yeah, and so we were out to dinner at Applebee's, and I cannot recall what set him off. But he left right at the beginning of the meal. And took off, and so waited there for a little bit, then went to go try and see where he was, and he was nowhere to be found. And he had left his satchel, and thank God his truck key was in there, but he stood outside, and I'm like, well, I don't know, what do I do? Do I take the truck, or is he going to accuse me of stealing the truck? Remember that? I'm like, I don't know what to do.
We were all standing outside, like, yeah.
And then
he ended up like walking around for an hour.
And he wouldn't answer the phone. I think he blocked me or something. So eventually got in the truck and went back to the house. Then I got in my own car and went out to go try and find him. He finally answered. He was about 3 miles away walking, and it took every struggle to get him back in the car and back to the house. And then it was a meltdown, and I was in tears, and you saw it, and it was
and you remember like I think you were like crying or whatever, and then he was outside on the porch, and I was like on edge really bad, and he started raising his voice at somebody, and that's when I kind of lost it. You remember? Like I went out, and then that's when he shut up. Like he actually shut up after I like got in his space or whatever, like screamed at him.
Yeah, and then he was off a couple times walking through the neighborhood, and I got in my car to go try and get him and bring him back. I mean, it was mortifying. Not only was I was just embarrassed and completely.
I mean, you should have seen when the last time I've ever seen him was crazy. Like he spiraled for about 4 or 5 hours, and would get in his truck and peel out and drive into the street and then run over people's curbs, and like the neighbors had to come over there and ask me if I was okay. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. If I need to, I'll just knock him out. I'm fine. And then he would come back and just be screaming at the top of his, and the stuff he would say is also like, I wish I would have recorded stuff more. Like he took a plate, I got a picture of that, like shattered it on the ground for no reason. He would blame you, he would blame me. Everything's everybody else's fault. He blamed me for why y'all broke up. He blamed some of his other friends for why y'all broke up. It was always some of his fault. And then he would talk bad about you and call you every name in the book, and I would tell him to shut up. And then he would say, like, not when you weren't there. And then he would all of a sudden love you again in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's consistent to all the different messages that I've shown, where it's that you can't level with the person. It's the one extreme, they'll shoot you down, or you're the queen of the world.
Oh, and one more thing I was going to say about something that happened. And you know about this too, like the time that this just shows how this is when I really realized like how disgusting he is. A mutual friend, somebody that I care about a lot, I was on the phone with, and she was crying and having a hard time. And do you remember how he was like, okay, so Dan was like, start screaming, saying that I'm there for him and it's about his mental health. And I'm not allowed to be on the phone with nobody, and that those people's mental health doesn't fucking matter. Fuck them, and just went on and off for like the next 3 hours. And if I had my phone out texting, he would scream. It got to a point where like I thought I was gonna go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, this is textbook narcissist here, guys. It is
everything's everybody else's fault. Everything's a lie. Every single thing that you say is a lie, or I say is a lie, or anybody says is a lie. He's never lied, never once.
Right. Just watching to see him sitting on an app all day, just yelling liar, 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 liar.
Well, if he wouldn't have talked about you for 5 months straight every day on live, trashing you, and then trying to get back with you, then you wouldn't be talking about him right now.
Right, and he chose to violate protection order.
If it wasn't for me, he would have violated it like 17 more times. I hid his phones. I hid both of his cell phones for a day and a half.
I believe. I mean, for him when he had to go to that compliance hearing.
Okay, yeah. So he had that court hearing, and he thought he was going to go to jail. So like for about a day and a half, I had to calm him down. And like this was like when I really started like that. Like I said, that last trip when I really started like. I'm too loyal of a friend sometimes, and it bites me in the ass. But I was trying to calm him down the whole time, and he was freaking out. And he was actually kind of calm because he thought he was going to jail. But he was spiraling about whether he should even go. And he was packing shit and unpacking it and saying he was going to Wyndham and saying he was about to go to your mom's house and saying all this. And he's like, if I'm going to jail, I might as well go to jail. And then just like, I'm not going to jail. I'm going back to Minnesota. And then all this crazy stuff. And so we ended up going to the thing. And he was so apologetic and all this stuff. And the second he gets out of it, he eats like 3 freaking bags of gummies. I don't even know how I don't know how he's alive. I don't do weed. I don't like weed. I don't do it. None of it. But you're supposed to eat like a quarter of those things or half or whatever. And he'll eat like 3 bags. You know that. Mm-hmm. And then he'll hit his vape pen, and then he'll do the like a joint or whatever. And then he starts to go manic and spiral more. And then when he realized he wasn't in trouble for anything because they hadn't, I guess, did the paperwork for it or whatever yet, that's when he really started spiraling.
Well, and then one of the first things that he did after leaving that hearing was make a TikTok video claiming court or legal victory in front of some cows in a baggy suit.
He was in front of cows.
Yeah, it was like over by the house where those cows would be, where he would go scooter.
Oh, the cows! The cows that he was waiting to come home, because if he saw the cows in the pasture, what that meant to him is you're coming home. Did he ever tell you that?
I've heard it, and you want to know the funny part about that is that the last day that I got all of my belongings out of the house, the cows came back.
Yeah, he would always say, when the cows come home, that means Jen's coming home. And that's why he would go to that's why he would go to that pasture every day, every night.
So no, he did not. I just saw a comment. They go by so fast, you guys. Did he make a TikTok in your vehicle on that, what looked like? No, I don't know whose vehicle that was. That was not mine.
But like, I feel like we're forgetting stuff. And I missed my turn on this freaking interstate.
Yeah, don't miss your turn. There's so much. It's hard to, how do you put it all in one place?
Basically, the point is that the moral of the story, I think, is like, I would have my mouth shut right now if he didn't attack people that I care about every single day, including myself. And I don't even really care about myself. Just keep other people out of it. If you got a problem with me, then talk shit about me.
Right. You become numb to it, but after continuing to talk about it, it's not okay. And so we've got to talk about it. So I appreciate you. Actually,
and, I mean, I'm not saying it's okay for him to talk shit about you. I care
no.
about you, obviously. And like, he shouldn't be on here. What kind of a man? Like, I've had good girlfriends in my life. I was married for freaking 10 years, worked in the oil field my whole life. Like, I know, like, there's good women out there and there's bad women. You're not a bad woman. You're an incredible woman, and you've never raised your voice at that dude one time, and he has the nerve to go on live and say that you did what? Like, who goes on live and talks about somebody like that every single day?
Yeah.
Someone that they loved.
And somebody that he continues, the messages that he would send were, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you. But the ones that he was violated for was, I love you, I'll go to jail. And it's so different than what he says on here, what he says on Snap. It's just insane. And it messes, like me, it messes your head up so, so bad.
I could only imagine. That's why I regret I regret being there and stuff and trying, because I should have known it wouldn't have worked.
It's hard. And so you were a good friend. You certainly tried. You were there for him in his darkest times, and look at what's happened. It's a shame.
Absolutely. I mean, he's trashed me on live before all this as well. And I've given him leeway, you know, and try to be understanding and empathetic about how I know he does have some mental stuff and he has a hard time keeping his mouth shut, but you can't make excuses for people forever.
No. So I think it's important to talk about. I appreciate you
like,
taking the time to do it, because it's important.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know the shit he says about Jen's a lie. The shit he says about me is a lie. The shit he says about everybody he talks shit about's a lie. And that's the sad part. And
if there's truth behind it, we'll own up to it. If there's any truth that what he's saying, you will own up to it.
Yeah, like I don't have it. Like, why would I have a problem if I'm not embarrassed to admit that I asked him for gas money one day 8, 9, 10, 11 months ago. I mean, but for him to say that I owe him money for gifts he sent me on my birthday and then scream it and then talk shit.
A lot of people. He owes a lot of people.
Yeah. Nobody in his own home, nobody likes I mean, the amount of times he's been like embarrassed me in a store or something because he cusses.
I hear ya.
Oh, I bet.
I hear you.
I don't know if there's anything else that we need. I can't think if there's anything else. I feel like
if you think of it, we'll talk about it. So yeah, I know you're driving and it's hard to get it all put together, but thanks for.
Let's see if there's a illegal U-turn sign here or not.
Be careful.
Okay, love you.
Okay, love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Well, let's make sure that he's safe. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I think it was important to hear that because, you know, today was a day where Dan said a lot of things. And so what we've been able to identify, and you guys hear it from other people too, is those ups and downs and ups and downs. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And so, again, we're trying to tell the truth, bring awareness to this, not only for him and what he's doing, but for other people that might be in situations like this. You know, last night I talked a lot about the steps that I had to take to go through the legal process and going to court and going in front of police officers. And tomorrow night I want to talk about, okay, then what? What do you do? What are your rights? And what are your steps on the other side? And kind of what happens once you get a temporary restraining order, or what happens when they serve, what happens, you know, what you can expect, because I want people to learn from this. It's not just coming on here and trashing them. That's not what we're doing. We're sharing the truth. But I want people to learn something from my experience, from others' experience. And I want people to open up their eyes, you know, because even today he was talking about, people pay for Steele's life. It's a complete contradiction to everything that he's doing on here. So open your eyes. So there's a question. So if he violated an order, why is he not in jail? Because they take that stuff seriously. Because he fled the state. And there's 3 warrants, and they're all out of Colorado, and he took off. So, and they aren't going to extradite at this point. So that's where we're at right now. So it's continuing to work with my advocates and the DA to see what happens next. I don't know what happens next because we're not there yet, but something will happen next. And then we're going to talk about it and we're going to figure it out as we go. But tomorrow I really want to talk about, okay, You go to court, you talk to the police, how that paperwork went. We talked about that last night. I want to talk about, is that sweater wool? I don't know, James. It's really cozy. But I want to talk about what you can expect because there's still a lot behind it. And I'm still learning something every day. Let's get Dog the Bounty Hunter. You know, during COVID, I got a phone call one day, and it was the manager or friend of Dog the Bounty Hunter because they wanted to go fishing on one of our properties, and it was really weird. It was a really weird phone call. But anyway, so that's tonight, and then tomorrow night we've got a lot more to talk about. But yes, I'm safe right now. Again, but it's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. So you could never be too cautious. One of the police officers that's known me since I was a little girl, he said, little Louie, that's what they call me, you've got to keep your head on a swivel for a long time until the next step. So that's where we are today. So thank you guys for coming in tonight. I will post this on the YouTube if you missed it. The link's in my bio, and then also my email address if you want to reach out. Please do. I'd love to hear from you. Haley, I'm going to pull some more, and we'll play those tomorrow. But every day there's new things. So hope everybody has a great night. I know I'm tired today because it was like going back to work, and I'm like, that wiped me out. But thank you guys for being in here, and we will catch you tomorrow. Everybody take care. You like my sweater? I love it. You guys are awesome.